Hey, thanks. 3, 2, 1. We've got a high wind warning in effect 6 o'clock tomorrow morning through 6 o'clock in the evening. So this is potentially a high impact wind event. We've had a couple of these strong wind situations coming through with these storm systems early in the year, and those have produced damage. I think we're going to see some widespread trees down, fences down, shingle damage. Of course, trampolines are going to be flying around too. So again, we're going to have to take this seriously, especially if you're going to be out and about tomorrow. Winds 30 to 40 miles per hour. So that's sustained roughly around tropical storm force winds. That'll be with sunshine as we go through the afternoon. Again, this is a prolonged event. This isn't like 1 or 2 hours like a single storm moving through. Again, wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. You're actually going to hear those high wind gusts coming through. It's going to sound like a plane, a jet aircraft taking off, approaching your location. So secure that furniture outside, the patio furniture and any loose items. Here's that power outage potential. We usually don't talk a lot about this because we don't have a lot of widespread power outages event. Usually it's confined to where we have the damaging winds and thunderstorms. So we've got some likely areas and then scattered power outages. What I've plotted here, the winds. So these aren't temperatures. These are wind gusts. That's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to talk about the severe weather threat and the tornado threat in just a second. But this is what everyone is likely going to feel, the strong gusty winds and the power outage potential. Notice the power outage potential increases in the metro area around 11 o'clock and up into Middle Tennessee especially. And you get into the higher terrain, we're talking Green Mountain, Montesano, Brindley Mountain, you see here towards Arab. And then as we get up at Sand Mountain and Lookout Mountain, that's where we're probably going to see even higher wind gusts here. And as we go on through the noon hour, the severe weather threat's going to be moving out of the area by then, but behind it, 65 mile per hour wind gusts possible in Arab, 48 Huntsville. Again, these are going to come and go. So we're talking probably a minute type wind gust. The winds will be sustained at 30 to 40, and then about every 5 minutes or so, you'll get a wind gust over 50 miles per hour coming through, and that'll slowly move out. But by 1 o'clock, we're still dealing with these significant severe wind gusts. Again, the trees are going to be more susceptible, especially the pine trees, because they still have all the needles on them. And some of these maple trees have started to come out as well, so they'll be more susceptible. And maple trees tend to break as well, those limbs. Here's a severe weather threat. Those winds die down about 4:30, 5 o'clock tomorrow. 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., a fast-moving line of thunderstorms, and it's starting to slow down. At least the development of this is slowing down some, and that's a bit more concerning, especially east of I-65, where the wind shear and the instability will start getting higher. So this is that timeline for you, 8 a.m. to 11 o'clock in the morning in red, 9 a.m. to noon, roughly along I-65 and to the north, including the Huntsville metro area, and then 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So this, again, is the severe weather threat. A lot of students are at home, and you may be at work. Make sure you kind of go through what they can expect as the winds start to pick up from one location to the next. And again, if we get tornado warnings, that is a possibility. So here's that severe threat tonight. A few storms between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. They'll be below severe weather limits, we call it. So maybe winds around 40 miles per hour, locally heavy rain. This will be brief. And then Friday morning, a line of strong to severe storms with damaging winds and a few tornadoes can't be ruled out. And then the potential for significant wind event behind all of this with gusts of 50 miles per hour, power outages. And if this is widespread, the power company is going to be so busy trying to get the power back on, and it's going to be difficult to get power back on, get the linemen out there when the winds are this strong. So you may be without power all the way into at least Saturday. Let's talk about storm energy. Now tonight, this is the graph model. A lot of zeros here. What I'm plotting, this is the Cape. We talked about that a lot. Here's that 10:30 storm time frame. Notice the Cape, the instability is 0. So that's kind of a warm front in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. But notice as we go past midnight, that instability slowly starts to come back. It's not going to be all that robust overnight tonight. Again, a few showers, and that's about it. That kind of lifts to the north. A few showers at 5:50 tomorrow morning. That will not be the big weather event. Take a look at what's going on here. As this slows down, this is just before 11 o'clock. Notice this instability really starting to climb, getting close to that 500 mark and even 1,000 in some areas. And notice we've got these little isolated thunderstorms. These could be what we call those supercell storms. And we'll also be watching over here in Fort Payne for that Sand Mountain magic as well. Notice these numbers going up close to 1,000, 740 in Huntsville. But by this time, the severe weather threat is over 11 a.m. west of I-65. but I just showed you it's still going to be windy. So overall, the other thing I want to show you, this is the energy helicity index, and this is the one that I really get more concerned with when I look at, and that starts to pick up a little bit as we go past the noon hour in northeast Alabama. Again, that's a short window there. That severe threat's gone by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As far as wind gusts go, we'll go back over this. 52 in Huntsville. This is around 10 o'clock in the morning. 52 in Florence, 57, 56. So again, high winds, the big issue. But as we get beyond tomorrow's 48 first alert weather day, we have a really nice weekend ahead. Temperatures back in the 60s, 72 on Monday. But watch out, we've got some cold weather, a frost, a freeze coming next Friday. So that's it for an update here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe, like, whatever you do on YouTube, right? You'll get more notifications.